Okay, hey, it's Coach Todd, and I wanted to make this recording and show this box opening for my Baseball Classics baseball game that I just received in the last couple of days. I actually have opened the box already, but I put everything back in because I wanted to kind of open it and show you kind of what I saw and how surprised I was, pleasantly surprised. In fact, thrilled over some of the things that were included in this. It's a baseball classics board game. You can play teams from 1901 to present. Now they're still adding some, but they do have quite a few. They do have an option. If you go to baseballclassics.com, they do have an option where you can join the cloud membership. And as part of that, you can download um, team seasons, years, and then do what I did and take them to Home Office Depot and have them printed. And so I'll show you one of the cards kind of up close here. This is one of the basic game cards. Now there is one with lefty righty splits also, but this is not one of them right here. But Jimmy Fox, and then of course has some the stats that are listed on there. Actually, this is Jimmy Wilson. Let me grab Jimmy Fox actually because such a great card. Here it is right here from the 1930 Philadelphia Athletics. So I ordered the 1930 season, and I've got a whole bunch of teams that or all the teams rather, I printed off, and I've got it bundled into their teams. Here's one of the cards on the Philadelphia Athletics, Jimmy Fox. You can look at all of this long list of stats, including a lot of sabermetric stats in there. And of course, being in green, that means they're really, really good. And you just look down through that, and then it shows his card here. But anyway, so I opened the game. I ordered the game, and I got it opened, and I was really, in addition to getting the cloud version as part of that, and they kind of have it special on that, and you have to just kind of look through it at their website, baseballclassics.com. But I also got a box of the board game. Or a physical box of it also, not just the cloud where I can download and print off the cards. I got all the game gear and all the charts and everything like that is downloadable as well that way. And I printed those and had them laminated at Office Depot as well. So anyway, I wanted to show you what I got in the package. So the first thing that jumped out at me, there was this book included called The Love of Baseball. Now it doesn't have a author name. It's got a publisher. It says PIL Publications International Limited. I'm going to remove the box for just a second. We'll come back to that in just a minute because I really wanted to show you this book. It is incredibly awesome. It says for the love or just the love of baseball. And you open it up, and on the inside flap, I'll read that off here. It says, "If you love baseball, be prepared for a thrill. Flipping through these pages is like taking a stroll through history. Superstars and record breakers of today share space with yesterday's heroes. Unforgettable stories and historic photos bring the golden age of baseball to life. Getting to know the greatest players of all time through fascinating facts and statistics, as well as hilarious quotations. Meet the sluggers and the speedsters, the hot shots and the legends. See Babe Ruth's famous called shot," and then it continues in the back, "and capture the excitement of Barry Bonds' 73rd home run. Relive memorable moments and classic World Series games. You'll also hear the roar of the crowd and the thrill to the side of the heroes digging in at the plate. The history of baseball is rich and colorful. It seems everyone from American presidents to the stars themselves have had something to say about America's game, and it's all right here. The love of baseball is so much more than just a book about baseball. It is the very essence of the game itself. It's just really incredible. Actually, here's the back of it as well. It says baseball fans of all ages, all generations, all over the world will cheer the for the love of baseball, revel in the lore and legends and colorful characters who made the game what it is today. America's pastime, its heart and soul. So this was included. Um, in my box with the game, which we'll get to here in just a second. But you open up this book, and it's just incredible. The pictures and the stories. Here's an interesting one. She fanned the babe. Um, Though Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig were two of baseball's greatest hitters, a woman once struck them out. It happened in 1931 when the Yankees stopped in Chattanooga en route home from spring training camp, probably in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Uh, Joe Engel, owner of an independent team there, had widespread reputation for innovative ideas, but this one was the topper. He unveiled a local pitching phenom named Jackie Mitchell, who proceeded to strike out Ruth and fellow slugger Lou Gehrig, a feat that made national headlines. So she was throwing her ephus pitch probably. But anyway, so here's about Rose breaking Ty Cobb's record and honoring greatness. And look at the picture with those. It's just an incredible book. I just got it, haven't had a chance to go through the whole thing, but just amazing thing to be included in my package from Baseball Classic. So over time, I will take my time to go through this and really educate myself, learn some new things, I'm sure. And I do love the game of baseball, and anybody that loves the game of baseball should have this book. It is really something. I don't know if or where you can get it outside of ordering the Baseball Classics game and having them send it to you, but it does come with that. So that came with the game. So here's the box, the Baseball Classics baseball game. So I'll put the box kind of right here, and we'll open it up and see what's in there. So is it just the game? Actually, no, it's not. So I open up the box, and inside is another book. It's in some, protective covering here. When you take it out of there, it really looks, I'm thinking, it's authentically old. Or it's just a book that's made to look that way, but it's in that protective covering. It says, 1983, Who's Who in Baseball, 68th edition of this book, Who's Who in Baseball, and on the back is a picture, and it's an old aged picture too. Again, I'm thinking that's authentic in terms of its age, but it's got the 1982 World Series St. Louis Cardinals and their picture on the back, and the names listed that aren't faded out where you can't read them. And then, inside, Who's Who in Baseball, showing there's Bert Blyleven and showing all the players of that day and their stats. This was Baseball Reference before baseballreference.com was around. So this book was included in there. So really cool. Then also there's some other really neat knickknacks. We'll get to the game parts, but like this bottle cap, this old bottle cap, Coca-Cola. I don't know how well you can see it. Try to put it in the light there. It's a Coca-Cola bottle cap. And in the bottle cap picture, I know it's a little hard to see there. I'll try to get it up to the camera and see if you can see that a little bit better. There we go. Kind of get it in the light, the sunlight there coming in my window. It's Willie Mays. It says Willie Mays All Stars. He's got Willie Mays picture under the bottle cap, and it's a old Coca-Cola bottle cap. So that was included in the box as well. And then there's some other cards and such. Let me get these out. First, there's this picture of Honus Wagner, and on the back, a little advertisement, for Piedmont, the cigarette of quality. So that was in there as well. This a picture of Honus Wagner, and then there's some other cards that came with it as well. That came in the box. Here's a Babe Ruth card. Big League chewing gum, and then on the back it's got George Herman Ruth, and a write up on the back there, Big League Chewing Gum. So again, there's another really cool card that was in there. Here's another one. This is it says Dodgers Yankees 1953 World Series. And when you turn it over on the back, there's a story about the 53 World Series. The Yankees won 4-2 against Brooklyn, and there's a whole story that's written out on there. That card was in there as well, so that was really cool. Here's a picture of Joe DiMaggio, our card. Joe DiMaggio card. This was in there as well. And then, of course, you turn it over on the back, and there's, Joseph Paul DiMaggio Jr., and it gives all of his personal stats, 6'2", throws right, bats right, hoop 200 pounds, and then a write-up on the Yankee Clipper. So this card was in there as well. Then in some protective covering also is another card of Jimmy Fox. Jimmy Fox, and then you flip it over on the back, and it's got all about James Emery Fox and a write-up on him, and some interesting stuff. Again, some really cool knickknacks. Just they're not part of the game. They're just included. They were just included in here. Bib Falk. I don't know. That's not the biggest name, but great player. And if you're a strat or a tabletop game player and you play a lot of the old games, you know who Bib Falk is. And then the same thing on the back. Some numbers on Bib Falk, his major league record there, and a write-up on Bib Falk. And then there was this other card, this 1915 Red Sox versus Phillies. The 1915 World Series, that is. And this is the front of the card. And then it shows the back of the card. Of course, Boston won 4-1 over the Phillies that year, the 1915 World Series. There's a write-up on it. Boston was victorious over Philadelphia 4 games, and so it shows the games. It looks like Philadelphia actually won game 1, and then Boston won games 2, 3, 4, and 5. All close games, 2-1, 2-1, 3 2-1 games in a row, and then a 5-4 game in game 5. So even though it was a 4-1 Boston series win, it was quite competitive. So this card was in there as well. Another really neat extra. And then there's this sealed, unopened pack, 8 Men Out, limited edition. The Black Sox and the 1919 World Series movie baseball cards. So I haven't opened this. I think I will. I was tempted to leave it sealed and just leave it like that, but I think I'll probably open it and see what's in there. I'm thinking by the description, it's actually it's World Series movie baseball cards. So it probably see the actors' pictures on the cards. So again, I haven't opened that. And so those are the extra knickknacks inside the box, along with the Love of Baseball game book. And then, of course, there's all of the card instructions for the game, which is the overview, and then some of the chart cards that you refer to for dynamic individual fielding. Team fielding. There's an instant replay that you could play into if you want, where each manager gets a challenge or 2 challenges, I think, in a game. And so if a play happens and you want to challenge it, heck, maybe it gets overturned. What they call a play action simulator, and then base running, bunting, and stealing, and so on and so forth, and some of the legends then that explain what those are. And then the pitcher's batters cards as well. And then this is a really cool feature of Baseball Classics, the game itself, as I'm starting to play it and learning to play it. I haven't played against anyone personally yet, just rolling some games myself. But this is the Showdown Manager, where when you're playing against somebody, especially if you're in person, certainly could do this on Zoom or whatever, but you can, basically call the game even in more detail than most tabletop games, at least that I've played. Of course, I play a lot of Strat, and this is something that you really don't do in Strat. But each manager can decide before the play. They can announce, what they're going to do, and of course you do that in Strat, but there's some nuances to this that make it really cool. The manager on offense and the manager on defense. The defense, uh, and they kind of reveal it at the same time. So the offensive guy who has a runner on first, could say I'm stealing, but the defensive manager can call a pitch out. So that's something different as well. So the pitch out may make the throwing out of the runner easier, or it would make it easier and more likely that he's going to be out. And so that's some of the various things you can do, and some twists and turns in the game that you might not see in others. Like I said, including the instant replay there a minute ago, which is really cool. And then there is, um, the instructions on scoring on their score sheet. A couple of score sheets that comes in there too. Um, the score field, the field manager rule book with everything you need to know, and then these little tabs that you can use on the score sheet, or on the score field, to keep track of your outs and innings and score and whatnot like that. I think the dice are really cool. They've gone to a four dice, really kind of a five dice roll. So you've got all of these are significant: the white, blue, red, green, and in one roll you pretty much solve the entire at bat. And then I like this. This is a dice that determines between the pitcher roll and the pitcher card and the batter card, and it's wooden, and then it's engraved. These are actually engraved in there. So there's a batter icon. It's a six-sided dice and a pitcher icon, and you roll it, and whichever comes up, you refer to the pitcher card or the batter card, whichever comes up. I really like this, as opposed to like the six-sided dice, and 1, 2, 3 is hitter, and 4, 5, 6 is pitcher, which is standard and stat. I really like this. I like this a lot. Now, obviously, when you're playing Strat, you got to use the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because you got to know what column. But in this one, you do not need that. Even in the lefty righty split cards. So this is very cool as well. It's wooden, and so very nice. And again, I showed you some of the teams I've already had. Through the cloud, you can down, like this is the 1930 Brooklyn Robins. Here's the 1930 Boston Braves, and I have them bundled up there, but the cards are nice and color coded, and they're easy to read, which is great for guys like me that get a little bit older and it's not as easy to read small things. So there's my box opening for Baseball Classics. It's a new game that I happened upon recently, and I decided I would order it. And I was pleasantly surprised. I'm starting to play it. I really enjoy it a lot. And I'm really learning it well. But some of the knickknacks and stuff that come along with it, these guys really love the game of baseball, and they go out of their way to include some things for people like you and me and all the other people out there that really love the game of baseball the way that we love it. So there's the box opening for Baseball Classics. I'll be recording some some games that I'm playing. I'll play those games on my probably on a live feed rather than recording like this one. And but either way, live or recorded, or watching it after I've had it on live, you can kind of see how the game plays, and I'll be doing that as well. So there you have it, Coach Todd. I love baseball, and you know what? I think I love baseball classics. Very cool.